So now, coming in from the pharmaceutical industry or from the testing industry on the pharma side, on the medical side, into the animal health marketplace, Aquila Diagnostic Systems, and David Alton talking about their point-of-care molecular diagnostic testing. David.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks very much for coming out this morning, and thank you for the conference organizers. This is my first time in St. Louis and first time at this conference, and it's been really an interesting time for me. I've really enjoyed meeting people and getting to be part of this network. I'm one of the founders of Aquila Diagnostics. We're a company based in Edmonton, Alberta, hockey country. And we have a point-of-care application that we're developing. In this world, you might call that point of cow. So I'll give you that's my last bad joke. But essentially, it's a technology suite that's sort of coming out of the human diagnostic world. We're doing a system where we're duplicating what can be done in a central lab. Typically, you'd send a test or sample into a central lab and get a test back in a day or two. So the pain, what we're looking at is that cost-effective and economical diagnostic testing is not typically available, not available at all in either a vet's office or on the farm. So this often leads to poor administration of medication, poor health, sometimes death in animals, and in the case of food production, very quantifiable costs. Now, this is kind of an extreme example. Everyone understands what's happened with some of the outbreaks in the poultry industry, but arguably with surveillance, with better testing and more timely results, you can potentially avoid this situation. This is pain that we think is across the animal health spectrum, starting with companion animals, chicken, poultry, pigs, equine, something that what vets tell us, and we've moved from the human diagnostic market into the veterinary market. Vets tell us that they would like to be able to get fast and economical testing done right in their clinic or potentially on the farm. So this is what the vet industry is telling us. And what we've done is developed a very robust field-ready system. Instead of a big suite of equipment, we've got a small footprint point-of-care device, inexpensive, about $3,000, and inexpensive disposable that we can use in the field. So this is our point-of-care system, a very small, as I mentioned, small footprint. We use a cheap plastic tube, 9 cents, and really the essence of what we're doing is we're taking our secret sauce in it, which is we have 2 patents granted on this, which does all of the constituents you need to do a lab-based test, desiccated down into the tube. That sauce is specific for a disease we're seeking out. Add blood, add the biological medium, put it in the tube. In fact, eight samples, or doing 8 tests, into the device, push go, and you have your test 40 to 60 minutes. So you've got an actionable decision. Instead of waiting 2 or 3 days for a test, you can get that result right away. So inside the box, I guess, is what we're doing is something called PCR, and if you're from the bio side, that's polymerase chain reaction, a very specific, accurate way to detect the existence of, for instance, a pathogen or a virus in blood or in urine or in fecal matter. So again, this is the basic system, and the key on the bio side for the tech guys out there is that we do not have a DNA extraction step. We skip that test, which is because of the way we dilute our sample. That allows us much faster, cheaper solution. And of course, it's very fast. Basically, we're going after the market, as I mentioned, to vets, clinics directly to vets. These are some numbers here which show the number of vets in North America. It's a big number. Within our team, we have a consulting veterinarian who's helping us get into that market. We're going to start in Canada and then move into the United States. So this is a complete solution. This isn't just a technology looking for an application. We have spent a lot of time developing applications to show that this works. And I won't go through the list, and it probably can't read that small type, but just number 6 for interest. Maybe our guys from New Zealand know this, but we can do tests for oyster herpes virus. So maybe you don't know that oysters get herpes, but they do. We have a long range of things that we can test for. Basically, anytime there's a virus or a DNA target. So this year, we are finalizing a number of our tests. In 2016, we have 15 targets we're looking for. And then 2017, one of the key markets we're looking at is companion animal testing across the board. That is a very lucrative market. If you're a pet owner, there doesn't seem to be a lot of price sensitivity on what you will pay to keep your pet healthy. So we think that's a very big market for us. So competition, of course, there's competition. Really, our competition is central labs where farmers or vets send their stuff into a central lab. So they want to capture that, bring it in-house with their own device. There are a couple other point-of-care companies that are focusing on this, and of course, there's the big companies in the animal health world, which you know about. So our team is small. We have 3 on the management side. We have 5 engineers and scientists back in Edmonton. I'm one of the co-founders. We've got an experienced CEO who's done a number of tech startups. And Dr. Jason Acker is our CTO, and he's actually the patent holder for our technology. So we've done a lot of things. We've been here for 5 years. We're at the point, I think, hopefully an inflection point. We've invested about $7 million through grants and equity. We hope to be cash flow positive in 2018, and this is a razor blade model where we'll be essentially a low-cost instrument and selling the disposables in tubes. Basically, we're in the middle of a due diligence exercise with a couple of strategic investors from the ag world, and we hope to close that in. Well, I always hope to close it soon. So I'm not asking for money today. We may be back in 18 months to do our next round. But so to conclude, we think we have a compelling story, a solution to a lot of key pain within this sector, and a management team. And now that we've got an industry partner lined up, we think we've validated our approach for this sector. So thanks for the time, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. I'll be here for a while at my table up front here.
Yes, Charlie.
Do you have to use blood samples, or can you use saliva or nasal swabs?
We've got it really working well for blood, but we've also done urine and sputum. So we've done a variety of mediums, but blood, it works very well. We've got to move into some other mediums too.
Well, it seems to be much easier to be able to get a cow to spit, right? And therefore you should be able to do that fairly easily with sputum. I mean, I'm just joking, but anyway. Yes, sir.
Does each plastic plate into which you put your magic materials and the blood sample test for only one of the diseases, conditions, or does it multiple possibilities?
I guess there's the possibility of multiplexing. Each tube can test one animal, or each tube, you could have a suite of 8 tubes, and each would be testing the same sample for 8. And there is a way to do 2 in 1, but it's kind of a technology thing which I don't really understand.
But each well only tests for one kind of disease?
1 and possibly 2 in the future, yep. Yep.
Are you able to characterize the pathogens just to test them?
Characterize them in...
As far as they have this virulence gene, or antibiotic resistance, look at the...
We can look specifically whether that pathogen is there. There's also a way to, if there's a strain within that, we can do that. And the other thing I didn't mention is we can also test that animal itself for any genetic traits. For instance, if it was able to metabolize a certain drug in a certain way, we can test that at the same time by adding another tube or another test. And we can, there is a way to do semi-quantitative PCR, which is to say yes and how much is in the bloodstream too, rather than just whether it's yes or no.
Thank you, David. Appreciate it.
Thank you.